So there's no making in today's video. Instead, what we're going to be doing is reviewing our 2022 and telling you about what we're going to be doing going into 2023. Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel and Happy New Year. I'm Anne and I am one half of the Sussex Handmade soap company along with my good friend Wayne. And today we are going to be discussing our 2022 year, the good, the bad and the ugly. And we're going to be telling you about what changes we're going to make for 2023 and in general, what we plan to do with our business going forwards into the new year. So firstly, looking back at 2022, and 2022 has been another hard year, and I don't think there's anybody that has missed out on the cost of living crisis updates that have been constantly going around since the beginning of 2022, and that has obviously impacted on our business, and I haven't met anybody whose business it hasn't impacted so far. So yeah, 2022 has been a little bit of a tough year, and actually personally for us it's actually been probably even harder than the pandemic years 2020 and 2021. The thing that we have had problems, or one of the hardest things we've had to deal with in 2022 has been the huge price rises in the cost of raw ingredients. And if you're like us and you do make products, whether that's to sell or just for your own personal use, you will probably also have not escaped the huge rising cost of ingredients. And just to give a couple of examples, sodium hydroxide, which we use for all of our soaps, at the beginning of last year or the end of 2021, we were paying approximately £40, £45 for a 25 kilo sack of sodium hydroxide. When I purchased it at the end of 2022, so I think it was around about November time, I bought us some more, and that had shot up to, I think it was £125 that I paid for those same 25 kilogram weights. So the price has gone up absolutely hugely, kind of like 300% increase from the start of the year. Unfortunately, that's not the only ingredient that has had the cost rises. We've also seen it in citric acid. Again, that has gone up from around about £40 per 25 kilo sack. That shot up to about £110 for a 25 kilo sack. So we're not talking small price rises here, we are talking huge price rises, which kind of everyone in this industry is facing. Other ingredients also are going up in price, thankfully not quite as much as the citric acid and sodium hydroxide, but prices are creeping up. And obviously that means that if we don't raise our prices, we're actually making less profit on each item that we sell. The trouble with increasing our prices is obviously that everybody is facing this cost of living crisis at the moment. So if we try and raise our prices, we risk customers saying, I can no longer afford to purchase their products. However, 2023, we are actually going to be raising the prices of our soap bars purely because we can't really afford not to at the moment. We've put it off for as long as possible, but when we first started in 2019, we were selling our soaps at £5 a bar or 3 for £12, and we are still selling them at £5 each or 3 for £12. And the huge increase in cost, especially even with the energy and the cost of the energy for actually making the products, means that it's not really viable to still be selling them at that same price. So we will be raising our prices up to £6 for a bar or 3 for £15. So I will update you on how that impacts sales and whether it does impact sales. I imagine it will a little, but hopefully not too much. And the second biggest issue that we had in 2022 was actually an issue with an ingredient, and that ingredient is our SCI powder, our sodium cocoisocyanate powder, which we use in our bath bombs. And the reason we have been using SCI powder, there's a couple of reasons. It is a very mild, gentle surfactant for the skin, but also it has always been, or we've always been able to get hold of a palm oil-free SCI powder, which worked out really well for us because we've never used palm oil in any of our products. However, fast forward to, I believe it was around about May, June time in 2022, And I went to order some more SDI powder, and I looked at the site that I always get it from, and it's always previously said palm oil free. And those words weren't there when I went to order in May. So I contacted the company, and I was told that the manufacturers have now started creating it with palm oil, which was so disappointing and frustrating to actually hear. They blamed it on what's going on in Russia and the Ukraine, but I'm not sure whether they're just using that as an easy way out to actually start to introduce palm oil into their products or not. The cynic in me says perhaps they are. I'd like to think that they aren't, but either way, it doesn't really matter because now the SDI powder is containing palm oil, and there are no other manufacturers that we can find, and we have searched high and low, who don't use palm oil in the production of their SDI powder. So that gave us weeks of indecisiveness over what to actually do. The first thing we did is we bought up as much as we could afford of the remaining palm oil free SDI powder that our supplier had. I think we ended up with, gosh, I don't even know, was it about 50, 100 kilos? It was a huge amount of SDI powder just so that it would get us through, and we didn't have to think too quickly about what decision to take in regards to those products. What we have kind of come to the conclusion of is that we would love to be able to make and continue to make all of our products palm oil free, but it seems that there is now no way to actually be able to make things like our bath bombs, our foaming bath bombs, our sugar scrubs, and there is one more product that I can't think of off the top of my head, but there are 3 products that we make that have SDI powder. And we either have the option of, once our suppliers run out, withdrawing all of those products from sale or using the SDI with the palm oil. And neither of those options at all were what we wanted to do. We have gone down the route now. We are going to continue to make those products, and we are going to use the SDI with the palm oil. I'm not happy about it. I feel incredibly hypocritical about it because I've always championed the palm oil free. I feel like a vegan saying I'm always a vegan, but occasionally I have a bacon sandwich. It's hypocritical, but there is no other option and there's no other way. It's not a case of pay a bit more money and you can get it palm oil free. It's a case of you cannot get it palm oil free now. And I know there's a lot of other people that this decision that these manufacturers took to make it with palm, there is a lot of people who have been affected by that change. When it comes down to it, we cannot afford to withdraw our bath bombs, which are one of our biggest sellers, and we cannot afford to withdraw our sugar scrubs and that other product that I still can't think of what it is, but there is one. We cannot afford to withdraw all of that from sale because the remaining products that we would have left would not be enough products to actually generate us the money that we need to make our business viable and to continue to run it. If the bath bombs weren't affected, we could probably just about get by. But the fact that it's going to affect the bath bombs is a real issue because they are one of our best sellers. Since we launched them a couple of years back, they've continually sold well. They sell really well for us wholesale as well. And we can't afford to simply just cut the line and not sell them anymore. So yeah, we will be moving forward and using the SDI with the palm oil in. But as soon as, if it ever happens, they go back to making it without palm oil, then we will definitely 100% switch back to that. And also if there's any other option that comes up as well in the meantime for a palm oil free product that performs the same way and will give us the bubbles and the foam, then of course we would look at switching to that too, although that would then mean redoing all of our safety assessments and paying for all of that to be done again. That said, we have actually purchased a few new safety assessments from Soposh. We've gone with some of their flexi assessments and we've gone with some new bath bomb ones. And those bath bombs are actually made using SLSA, which again is still a palm oil derived ingredient. The reason we are favouring the idea of switching towards SLSA now over SCI is that the SLSA would require a lesser amount in the bath bomb as opposed to SCI. So say you might be using 50 grams of SCI in a bath bomb, which you wouldn't because it's a hugely high amount, but I'm just throwing numbers out here. Say you use 50 grams of SCI, you might find you're only needing to use like 10 grams of SLSA. So you're using less SLSA, so you're using less of the ingredient that contains the palm. So I think what we're doing is we are now moving to limiting the ingredients with palm to the smallest amount possible, rather than excluding it completely, because unfortunately it seems that excluding it completely is now not really going to be a viable option for us. Yeah, I'm really annoyed about it. Really not happy with that. But it's the big manufacturers making the decisions, and they rarely take notice of little businesses like you or I, unfortunately. So, oh God, I've got to be real. Oh no, why does it have to beat now? I'm so down with the kids. Be real. Here we go. I've got to be real. 40 years old. Dear oh dear. Right. Yes, so now my rant over SCI is over. Let's move on to the fairs that we did in 2022. As most of you know, events and fairs are the way that we earn the majority of our money. We do a little bit wholesale, we do a few orders on our website, but the fairs and events are what earn us the majority of our money. We started 2022 in March, I think was our first fair, and we went through until December. The fair's really ramped up May sort of time. May onwards, it's pretty much every weekend. It is rare for us to have a weekend off between May and December, and they are a lot of hard work. 2022 was not a good year for fairs. The first half of the year especially was not good. We did a 3-day event over Easter, and that was not good for us. 3 days away down in Southampton, staying away from home, and we earned, I think, £43 for the 3 days. That was the profit, and that wasn't even each. That was £43 to be divided by 2 of us. So you're looking at £21.50 each for 3 days away over Easter, away from our families, and it just wasn't worth it. And unfortunately, that was kind of a pattern for 2022. We had the odd fair that we did well at. We did one in June down in Lindfield in West Sussex. That was just a 1-day event, and we made about £400 profit. So that was a good one. But unfortunately, in the first half of the year, the good shows were few and far between. And I am putting that down to the cost of living and everything that was announced in the early part of 2022 and people being concerned to spend that money. There were people still spending money, but what we found is that they were often buying smaller items. So where they might have bought 3 soaps for £12 in the past, now they're only buying 1 soap. Our sugar scrubs used to be really good sellers at £15, and we found that we were not selling many sugar scrubs at all. People were sticking to small purchases, sort of £5, £6, up to about £8. Anything over £8 was tough to sell. And that obviously impacted on how much we were taking, because although we were still getting people buying, the fact they weren't spending as much as they used to negatively impacted how much we earned. And it was unfortunately the kind of norm those first 6 months of the year, that those were kind of the figures we were seeing. We weren't making much profit at the majority of our shows. However, in the run up to Christmas, and especially the last sort of 6 weeks before Christmas, everything changed. And I'm glad it did, because I'd got to that point where I was almost at giving up point. I didn't want to kind of get up and do the shows. I'd really got into a low point where nothing was working, we weren't making the money, and I was kind of ready to just give it all up and chuck in the towel. And it takes a lot for me to kind of get to that point, but I had got to that point by the end of October, and I was just really fed up with it all. But then thankfully, things changed, I say approximately 6 weeks before Christmas, and we started doing the Christmas events, and they actually went incredibly well. They went far better than we actually expected. The bath bombs that we'd made, we did some Christmas bath bombs, they went fantastically. We could not keep up with the level of demand for them. We were constantly selling out, and the Christmas soaps were a hit as well. I think there's one design of Christmas soap that we've got a few left over, but all the others have sold out. So the run up to Christmas pretty much saved us, and it has given us some breathing space. It's given us a decent amount of income to hopefully see us through at least the first 3 or 4 months of this year. that I'm imagining are going to be very similar to last year and not especially profitable. Wholesale last year as well. Wholesale orders definitely dropped. We have got a few people we work with who are very good stockists. They order a lot from us and they order consistently, and those stockists did keep up with their orders, and that was good. We have got another few stockists who will buy from us kind of on an ad hoc basis now and again, and we did notice that a lot of those orders weren't coming in. So whereas those people might have ordered from us once every, say, 3 or 4 months, those orders were either coming in sort of once every 6 months, or they just weren't coming in at all. So the wholesale side of things definitely slowed down as well. We did get a couple of new stockists on board, so that was good, but on the whole, wholesale orders were definitely slower last year as well. And again, I'm putting that down to those shops aren't having customers spending as much money, so it is a knock-on effect. They're not selling the stock as quickly, they don't need to order as quickly, we sell less. So yeah, everything was definitely a little bit down last year, apart from the last 6 weeks before Christmas. So, going into 2023. God, I feel like I'm talking a lot. I hope I'm not boring. I probably am boring, but I'm going to carry on talking anyway, because if you've watched this far, you're probably going to carry on watching the rest. Is that somebody outside the door? I am waiting for a delivery. We'll find out if it knocks in a minute. Actually, I think it's with every, so they probably won't knock. They'll probably just throw it somewhere. Oh, am I allowed to say that? Probably not. It's only personal experience. Yeah, 2023. So, what are we going to be doing differently in 2023? The first thing we're going to be doing differently is we are not going to do so many fairs in the earlier part of the year. And it's something we sort of toyed with. It's like, should we, shouldn't we? We're making a little bit of money, but not a huge amount. But if we don't do them at all, we're not going to be making anything. And then it was like, do you know what? We have dedicated so much time and we spend so much time away from our families, and we miss things like birthdays and anniversaries and barbecues and important events and things like that. We miss them all because we are at fairs and events. So this year we are going to attend less fairs and events in the first 6 months of the year, and we are going to take that time to actually spend a bit more time with our families doing things like that. But we are also going to take the time when we would have been preparing for fairs, and we're going to take that time to concentrate a little bit more on YouTube, because I enjoy YouTube and we haven't put up videos for a long time. And the reason is, as you guys know, we run out of time. We are too busy with everything else to actually concentrate on doing anything on YouTube. So we are going to spend some time doing YouTube, hopefully a little bit more regularly. We are also going to concentrate on creating a range of bath bombs, because last year we branched into doing the shaped bath bombs and the foaming bath bombs, and it's a lot of fun and they have been selling really well. So we're going to concentrate on bath bombs as well, and we are also going to try and create a little side business for the bath bombs. And the reason for that is that with the soaps we are very much focused on the natural aspects and all of that, and the bath bombs are not natural. You couldn't call them natural in any way, shape or form. They're more fun. They're the bright colours, you get the foaming, you get the fizzing. But I'm not entirely sure whether having the natural soaps and the very much not natural bath bombs side by side is detrimental to the sales of both of them. We haven't noticed it at our fairs, but I can't help thinking that the people looking for the natural niche may be put off by the bath bombs, and the people that are looking for the fun fizzing bath bombs may not think to look when they see the natural soap. So we are going to try to create another little sideline just for the bath bombs and the bright, fun, colourful stuff. So that is going to involve... okay, so the camera ran out of built-in storage. That's probably a sign that I've been talking too long and I need to wrap this up. Also completely lost track of where I was. I think I was talking about the new bath bomb business. So yeah, bath bombs. We need to create a website. We need to create more stock. I've got plenty of ideas and you will see them on here, because I will be focusing on a few bath bomb videos as well in the new year. Yeah, so I think that is pretty much what is going on with us for 2023, focusing on less fairs, more YouTube, and bath bombs, new bath bomb ideas. That is essentially our 2022 and what we're hoping for 2023. Yeah, not a lot else. I've already booked into a few fairs for 2023 for the end of the year. We did Hampton Court Palace actually in December, beginning of December 2022. Very nervous about it because it was hugely expensive to get into, but my goodness, it was the most beautiful Christmassy setting possible. It was a gorgeous, gorgeous event. If you have the opportunity to actually visit it this year, so yeah, December, a little way off, but put it in your diary because it was a really beautiful event to attend, and we did so well at it as well. So I've already booked us back in for that one for this coming December. Yeah, it was a lovely, probably my favourite event, and it was our last event of the year, and it was just the most beautiful event to finish on. I absolutely loved it. So that was a good one. So yeah, for 2023, less fairs, more bath bombs, and more YouTube. So that is about all. I just thought I'd give you guys a little update, which has turned into a long update because, as you know me, I kind of waffle on and lose track of what I'm saying and then just end up speaking for ages. So yeah, that's us. So how has your 2022 and 2023 been so far? Do let us know in the comments as well how you found 2022 to be. Was it poor for you, or did you have a good one? Because I'm sure there are people out there who had a really good 2022 and didn't really get too badly affected by the cost of living. To be honest, I don't think we were affected as badly as some people. And the reason I say that is that actually, in general, we do sell lower value products. And I know Wayne was worried about going into Christmas because he said people can't afford our stuff anymore. The people that could afford our stuff now can't afford our stuff. And it's like, yeah, that is true. But also, you kind of got to remember, we are selling relatively low value items. So although there's some people who were our target market in 2021, who can now no longer afford our products, they're no longer our target market. Our target market is now probably the people who in 2021 were actually looking for slightly more expensive products. And in 2022, they had to lower the amount of money they were spending as well. And so they then become our target market. So we didn't fare too badly in the run up to Christmas because we still had a lot of people buying and we still did really well. And I felt a little bit more sorry for the people who do sell higher value items because I think then it is probably a little bit harder to still get those sales. The other thing we benefited from was that people will generally still spend money on their children. I know me, I will spend my money on my children before I will spend it on myself. And that kind of came true in the fact that we sold a lot of Christmas bath bombs and they are geared towards children. And people were buying them for their kids. And again, people were buying things for their kids but not treating themselves. And I think that's kind of just the way it goes when you've got kids. And that is another reason why actually this year, we are going to look at doing bath bombs. They're fun. I enjoy doing them. They sell well. They're a good price point. And ultimately, they are often aimed towards the younger market. So anything up to probably about 15, 16, older obviously as well. But you know, you're talking kids when you talk bath bombs, and parents will spend money on their children. So hopefully that'll be a way of us actually bringing in some more sales as well. So now I am definitely done. So let us know in the comments how your 2022 was and if you have got any big plans for 2023. It's been lovely to see you all again, and hopefully we will be back soon. Or hopefully we will be back soon with another video. Not a clue what it's going to be. I've got lots of ideas already. We're going to be covering a bit of everything. We're going to be doing the natural soap making, the natural colours. I've got some indigo that I infused about 1.5 years ago that I found the other day and didn't realise I had, so we're going to play about with that. But then we're also going to be doing things completely the opposite direction. We're going to be doing bright, colourful foaming bath bombs, so there will be a little bit of something for everything, for everyone. A little bit of something for everyone. There you go. If you've managed to put up with my waffle, then thank you very much. If you enjoy our channel, please do hit like, hit subscribe, and we will see you with a brand new video very soon. Bye for now. I told you so. Look, it was a van. They dumped it outside in the rain. They didn't even knock. Predictable.